In 2014, Jennifer Kent made her directing debut when she directed the horror film The Babadook. The Babadook tells the story of Amelia, a widow who is raising her child, Samuel, who has trouble relating to kids his age because he is different. The Babadook has been celebrated by many moviegoers as a refreshing new take on horror movies. A very respected film critic named Glenn Kenny said that The Babadook is perhaps the first great horror film of the 21st century. This horror film is unlike many other films from the same genre. The horror is not presented through cheap jump scares or high-pitched screams, but instead displayed through the horrors of relationships and emotions. The idea of the unknown introduces the thought of horror. We fear what we do not understand, according to author Dan Brown regarding what he thinks causes humans to be frightened. However, the director Jennifer Kent relies on a different unknown: depression. Depression is a topic that is usually swept under the rug, and many people are ill-informed about the reality that people with mental disorders face. Kent brings the topic of depression into the spotlight in her film. Amelia is depressed because she cannot get over the loss of her husband Oscar. He died in a car crash when they were rushing to the hospital to deliver their son, Samuel. Amelia still subconsciously blames Samuel for the death of Oscar and has a small hatred for Samuel. This emotionally is enough to cause feelings of horror. How could a mother not love her son? One night, Amelia and Samuel read a book titled Mr. Babadook. This book tells the story of Mr. Babadook, a ghoulish figure that hides in your room. Mr. Babadook wears a disguise that will cause you to lose sleep at night if you see him in your room. Amelia denies the existence of any Babadook character and tries to comfort Samuel. This is when the movie The Babadook takes typical characteristics of a horror film and adds a little twist. The Babadook is a monster, but there is also a psychological horror behind his disguise. In the movie The Conjuring 2, the monster is a physical monster and only that. Jennifer Kent has a monster that is both physically scary and also mentally terrifying. This is why the movie The Babadook is so great. It has typical characteristics of a horror film, but it also brings something new to the table. The Babadook frightens both Samuel and Amelia, which is causing Amelia to lose a lot of sleep. The lack of sleep begins to catch up with Amelia. Amelia shows no interest in going to work. Some days she doesn't even have the energy to get out of bed. She finds it very hard to do tasks that are very minimal throughout her day. These are all symptoms that would indicate that a person is dealing with depression, according to DSM-5, which is commonly used to diagnose mental disorders. The Babadook begins to consume both Samuel and Amelia. Throughout the movie, the Babadook presents himself to both Samuel and Amelia in a physical way.
Babadook, duk, duk.
The Babadook embodies some of the symptoms of depression: seclusion, insomnia, and suicidal thoughts. The monster isn't solely the Babadook. The monster is living inside of Amelia. The monster is depression. This is when the director successfully reveals the monster. The monster is the manifestation of depression living inside of Amelia. Towards the climax of the movie, Amelia has a physical and mental battle with the Babadook and depression. The monster inside of Amelia is trying to kill Samuel. Amelia has been fully consumed by the Babadook and is attempting to kill Samuel. Samuel sees that his mother is lost in her own depression and tries to fight off the Babadook in an attempt to protect his mother from herself. While the monster inside of Amelia tries to kill Samuel, Samuel says the most horrifying dialogue in the entire movie. "I know you don't love me. The Babadook won't let you. But I love you, Mom. You let it in, you have to let it out." Amelia comes to terms with the loss of her husband, Oscar. This means that she is finally able to fully love her son, Samuel. Amelia has won this battle with depression, but the director, Jennifer Kent, does not stop there. She uses her platform to educate people about the horrors of mental disorders such as depression. In the last scene, Amelia and Samuel are happy, and they are out in the garden together. Samuel brings his mother a bowl of dirt and worms. Amelia tells Samuel to stay outside while she handles something inside. She takes the bowl of dirt and worms and lays it on the basement floor. The Babadook takes the bowl of worms and then attempts to attack her and get inside of her. But Amelia stands her ground and is able to fight off the Babadook.
And every now and then we get an email from someone saying that they were, deeply moved by this film, and it actually helped them get over their sort of grief.
The reality of depression is that it is ongoing. Those who have depression never overcome it, but learn to live with it. The monster is not defeated, but it is finally understood. And we don't fear what we finally understand.